Well, obviously pleased to get a win. Thought the fast start, and our guys had talked about. I knew these guys were excited to play, but it comes down to execution. I did think we executed pretty well early in the game, but college football is a long game, and there was a lot of back and forth. Defensively, really pleased with the effort, the physicality, the tackling, and then the turnover piece. Couldn't been more happy with that. Those guys did a great job on that side of the ball. You know, that staff, those players, challenging things, getting around the quarterback, creating some havoc. It was a huge part of it. And then we had enough offensively. You know, again, some self-inflicted on the offensive side, but did enough there to obviously win the game. And so really happy with it. Appreciate Beaver Nation coming out. I thought they made a difference. The atmosphere was great, packed, crowd noise, and we got the win.
Jonathan, just talk about that defensive effort, particularly forcing turnovers. How key was that tonight?
Yeah, it was huge. Getting around the quarterback, forcing some throws, making plays on the ball. I thought physicality in our tackling showed up for the ball to come out a couple of times, and so it was this win was definitely led by the defense.
Just curious, when you have a defense that appears to be as good as it is, the options that you now have. There was a situation in the third quarter where you had like 1st and 20 and just kind of ran it. You didn't really force like in the past. You might have tried to get that first down. Is that where you're kind of thinking, I got a good defense and I don't need to exactly force things?
Well, yeah, there was times tonight, especially the way the score was going and how we were playing on defense to, be a little bit more conservative. Again, we're going to be aggressive chasing down wins and whatever it takes to do that. But we were playing well on defense and self-inflicted offensively of going backwards at times and trying to avoid that.
As a coach, is this kind of a good situation for you? You win a game, you play fairly well, but boy, there's a lot of things you'll be in practice next week. You won't have any problem getting their attention.
Yeah, 100%, especially on that one, on the offensive side. And again, we did some good things offensively. We had some explosive plays. We just got to be able to execute for a longer period of time. So you're right on it. You're trying to win a game, but still trying to make your biggest improvement from game 1 to game 2.
You mentioned you were lights out in the first half. Third quarter, not so much. How concerned are you about sort of the way things deflated a little bit?
Yeah, I think some of it started with the penalty end, especially offensively in the third quarter. We had some prime field position that we didn't score like I think we're capable of. And again, this is game 1, first game. You're going to have some issues and some things to clean up, and we got a bunch to learn from. And we're looking forward to going back to work tomorrow.
Obviously, they decided to switch their quarterback pretty early in the game. Did you guys sort of expect that there could have been a sort of a two quarterback system today?
Didn't anticipate it. Hank Bachmeier's a good player. That guy's been around the block, has started and done some really good things. I think we got around him a little bit, and a couple of errant misses that actually came to us. But that guy's a good player. But they made the change, and that guy is dangerous getting in the game. And you saw him it seemed like an 80-yard touchdown run. So you got to be prepared for anything. But we were not anticipating seeing 2 quarterbacks.
Jonathan, can you evaluate Chance Nolan's play tonight?
Yeah, some really good and some really, I'll say some things to clean up. I thought he was accurate on the deep ball. We've asked him to, create some explosive plays, and shoot, I thought even a couple of them that were dropped that were even bigger. So he did some really good things there. Got us in the right run plays, a lot at the line of scrimmage. But there's just some errors that he knows that he can clean up.
When your defense is sort of playing like that, and even when you guys turn the ball over, they can go out there and get the ball back for you. How much does that allow you to sort of free up the offense with your play calling and things like that?
Yeah, it's a huge lift for them to, step up and create some turnovers like that. Again, offensively, we got some things to clean up. Again, you get in these games and you're counting on the defense to play well, and they were playing well, but never a point where offense you just take a foot off the gas just because your defense is playing well.
Would you have expected Jack to be your leading rusher tonight? And do you kind of expect a committee type thing moving forward, or just kind of week to week game plan?
Yeah, not expecting, but I do expect Jack to make some plays, and he did again tonight with obviously the long touchdown run. We just got to get more efficient in the run game. Some of that was self-inflicted with some penalty end. And again, give Boise some credit. These guys can play some defense, and they were going to stop the run, and that's some of the reason we had some explosive plays because they were planning to stop the run.
To sort of piggyback on that, obviously when you got here and when Jack got here, he was in the quarterback battle to, start at quarterback. Now he's playing both sides, and obviously there's very few players at this level that play both sides. Did you ever know that was sort of the plan? Did you see that vision coming into play?
It wasn't the plan when we recruited him, and the more you get to know him and how dedicated he is and skilled he is in so many different phases, he wanted to make the move. We made the move, a year or two ago. And he's run with it, man, because he showed up on special teams today, made a couple of tackles. He's in there at linebacker, obviously doing some things offensively, and so he's a huge piece of this team.
Jonathan, you talked about some of just, the self-inflicted stuff and some of the stuff you need to clean up on the penalty end, but for you to go out and win a game by 17 when you do have all of those things you want to clean up, how much do you think that's just kind of a testament to the overall improvement you've made?
Yeah, we have improved as a program. It's a testament to how well we play defensively. And again, we got to find ways to be explosive offensively. We did that. Now we got to improve to be able to execute for a long period of time to be the type of team we want to be.
From what you saw last year, and then obviously this being sort of a small sample, do you feel like this team is starting to turn into those Oregon State teams that you played on?
It's a first game. I do think we're trying to make it physical on both sides of the ball and tackling and running and playing with energy. I do think this group is tight-knit. They're playing together, and this was the first of hopefully many this year that we're going to play. And so it's a good start. It's what we want to do. We won a game.
This thing's been building for 5 years on defense. How much does tonight validate what you guys have been able to do?
I don't think that I would, say it validates anything. I think it definitely validates the process and the work and improvement. I felt like we took a step, but we're definitely nowhere close to where we want to be and nowhere close to where we're capable of being. So I know we all look forward to, watching the tape. Obviously enjoy the win because they're hard to come by. So we'll watch the tape tonight, tomorrow. We'll go and clean it up. And then we'll work towards, improving as much as we can before that, second game versus Fresno State.
How much of those, you guys had a couple of takeaways real early in the game, like you and Rajon had picks. What did that bring as far as energy to the defensive performance?
Well, I think anytime you take the ball away, it's huge. I think that the turnover margin is what I think was the number one stat related to winning in college football. So that's always huge for us, and that's something that we preach and we've worked at for years and years. And there's times where we weren't getting many takeaways at all. So just to see those ones come early, and to give us that momentum, and to give us that confident boost on defense and in the secondary, it was big for us. And I'm glad that we continue to make plays throughout the night.
They obviously made that quarterback change kind of early and then started to come back in that second half. What was sort of the difference in that second half to where they were able to move the ball down the field?
I would say we had some missed tackles. I know I missed a couple tackles, allowed some extra yards. And then with that quarterback, he was a really mobile guy and not just one of those who can kind of run. He could run. He was a pretty good runner. So I think that, some of their schemes involved a lot of, option, which you didn't see with 19. And, we were prepared for him, and he got the best of us on some of those. And so I just think with the, a mobile quarterback, sometimes that helps, get the chains moving a little bit. And I think that in that third quarter, they got the best of us. So it was, really important for us to respond in the fourth.
You said that this didn't, validate anything, especially for the defense. But, to be able to have those many turnovers and obviously you coming up and, getting that first fumble and the run and things like that, how big is that for this team just to build off of, this performance here?
It's really big because, we talked about it before the game. The only thing that would matter at the end of this night when we laid our heads down is if we won. And we won the game. So I think that's the biggest thing, not the turnovers, not the, we need to clean it up here, we need to get better here, or this side, one side did good, one side. It's just that we won, and so now we all 100 of us, players and staff get to, really look in the mirror and reflect and see how much better that we can be because nobody plays perfect. And I know that we got a lot of turnovers and look good, but there's a lot of things that we can improve on as well. So I think we're all looking forward to improving on those things.
Talking to a lot of you guys over the fall, a lot of you decided to come back because you felt like that last game last year that you had unfinished business.
Yeah.
After coming out, like your season opener at home and playing this way, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel that, the work that we put in the off season, for that first step, 1 out of 12 is all that you're guaranteed. Almost a check mark for that game because that's what you work for. You don't just work for the first game. I know everybody always gets so hyped because of the anticipation and you're waiting so long to play the first game, but it's a long season. It's a really long season. It's really, really hard to win a game. So I think you don't take that for granted, and then you keep the same approach. We're going to approach this next week, just like we approached the last week, and on and on and on. So I think it's just about, how much can you improve? How much can you be your best on a day in, day out basis? Whether that's an off day, whether that's a practice day, whether that's a Friday walkthrough, it's all about improvement. It's all about the process. So I think we just stick to our day-to-days, and we'll be just fine.
Chance, I guess there's not a lot of questions about what you've done with your deep ball, is there, after tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to go get those and kind of, they were playing low at times, trying to stop the run, and so it was good that we were able to kind of take advantage of that.
Did you guys talk consciously about going deep early and getting that part of the game going early?
Well, yeah, I mean, we knew they like to load that box when we get into those pro-style sets. So, our play-action game was, ready to go. We saw early on that we can kind of get behind them, and I think we kind of utilized that, throughout the game. I mean, there was a couple times I had got pressure on the play-actions, but we still, kind of won on the route. So, I mean, it was really good for us to see that our receivers were winning, and, we were able to get over top. And I'm just glad I was able to complete a couple.
Just curious, coming out of a game like this, you win, you win pretty comfortably. But, man, there was a lot of, penalties and turnovers. Do you come out of this feeling good but knowing that practice is going to be a grind next week?
Yeah, for sure. And we know who we got next week. So, I mean, for us, we're going to get back to the basics tomorrow and watch the film, digest all of it, talk over some things because there's a lot to clean up. I mean, there's a bunch of plays on offensively. Just we got to be better. I got to be better personally, just being smarter with the football in certain stances. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's a big review of this game, and then we kind of flush it and we work towards the next week and try to build off of it. So I mean, for us, it's like we didn't play to our fullest potential offensively, and I think the defense will probably tell you the same thing. So I mean, for us, it's just as a unit, getting back together and then coming up and firing next game.
It's been a while since Oregon State won on opening day. 1-0 instead of 0-1. How does that feel like?
Yeah, man, it feels good. It feels good. I mean, it was kind of a grind. It was a battle. We knew Boise State coming in was a great team, and they're a Mountain West team, so it's a great conference. So we wanted to go kind of get off on the right foot, and I'm glad we did that. And I'm glad our defense played lights out, man. It was awesome to watch them just fly around, make turnovers all night. I think we had like 4 or 5 picks. It was awesome.
How free did that, let you guys play on offense, knowing that the defense continued to get the ball back for you guys?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just gives us all the confidence in the world. I mean, I think I threw 2 picks inside the 20-yard line, and they got 2 stops, and they fumbled, and they didn't get any points out of it. So, I mean, that type of defense of, that camaraderie where your defense is going to go out there and, pick you back up, it was awesome to see. It really got me, fired up that they were able to get those turnovers and stop them inside the red zone, and it was great. But, yeah, I mean, our defense, that gives you all the confidence in the world as an offense when your defense is flying around like that.
Chance, on the one pick on the sideline, were you trying to throw that away? It looked like you were.
Yeah, I mean, I just got a little inside pressure. We had a deep. We were going deep again on that play. We had a deep concept. I kind of got my eyes downfield, got in my face. I just chili dipped the throw. I got to get that out of bounds. I just kind of didn't get enough on it. Left it in bounds. And that was just that's just a big mistake that I can't make. It's a critical error in that situation. That I will definitely see that and look on that in film, and I'll throw that over his head next time for sure.
I know a big focus for your offense has been that downfield throw, and it felt like tonight it's the most we've seen you since probably maybe the spring. See you comfortably throw that ball downfield, make some completions. Does that give you a sort of confidence? Is that clicking tonight? Was it clicking maybe a little bit in practice that we didn't see, or
Yeah.
what were you thinking?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think throughout fall camp, we connected on a lot of deep balls like that, a lot of prongs. Like the one I hit Ant Gould on, I think we hit the first day of camp. So it was same look, same play call. It was just kind of the same defensive coverage. It was kind of all things we've repped before. So just being able to get out there and hit those, I mean, yeah, because that's a big thing we've been talking about because we have so much speed out there on the wideout position. And we run the ball. We like to load it up and be in those big sets. So, I mean, if we're able to, play action and throw the deep ball and different concepts down the field, it's going to open up the run game and it's going to open up the pass game, drop back as well. So it just kind of all goes together. So it was really good to hit those and, yep.
obviously last season is last season, but how good does it feel to be able to still come back out, to your home field? Obviously, less fans this time around, but still be able to get that win at home field.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's always good to get a home win. I mean, shoot, the fans were rocking tonight. I know we only had half a stadium, but it still got really loud out there for our defense, man. They were super lively. It was awesome to see. But yeah, I mean, getting that first one at home, I think it just kind of, puts the season into motion. Now we're able to kind of ride that way. We got 1-0 start. We didn't take a loss, so we're able to, focus and try to be 2-0 next week. And that's kind of what we do every week. We try to take it week by week and, win a football game, and that's what we did tonight. So.
Jack, what in particular did you like about the defense in the first half?
Well, the fact that we got after the quarterback and we made them make errant plays and we executed it. I mean, it was pretty much what we drew up and what we planned, and I honestly expected that. And it was good to see our teammates go out and do that.
We haven't seen a defense like this in quite a while. Did you guys kind of talked about that during the offseason, about the improvements you look like you've been making on that side of the ball?
Yeah, we knew. Coming in, we know that Coach Bray had us dialed in. And with the schemes and the stuff and how simple it is and allowing us to play fast and go fast, it's really night and day. And honestly, I think the sky's the limit for our defense. We just need to be able to finish games.
And then you got the touchdown there that kind of broke the game open. Did you the second half? Touchdown. That kind of play.
I didn't know. I kind of thought about it in the back of my head. I was like, well, I mean, we could hit it again because when the false start and down in the goal line, I was like, well, it's pretty open. But I mean, shoot, how good's football? Getting out there, competing. And that was a really good team that we just beat. They're disciplined, physical up front, and I think they're going to have a good year.
All camp, we talked about how experienced, especially this defensive unit is. How much did that show today, being able to force all those turnovers, especially in the secondary?
I just think with all the experience we have, I mean, there's another thing that we really haven't seen before. Everybody was comfortable once they got out there. We weren't overhyped or overamped or anything like that, and I think it showed.
Obviously, they changed their quarterback, and then sort of in that second half, they started to gain a little bit of momentum. What did they do a little bit differently in that second half to be able to sort of get back into the game?
The QB could run, and he made plays on his feet. And honestly, that's just tough to defend no matter what you're calling.
For you specifically, when you came here, you're in a QB. See how your role is sort of changed. Did you see that vision ever when you first got here?
How could I expect that? I mean, that's like, when I'm out there, I'm just like, gosh, I'm running over here and I'm running over there. I'm like, wow, this is actually really tiring. But then I kind of settled in. But no, I had no idea this would kind of be the way it's panned out. But I'm happy and fortunate that this is really, my path and what I'm meant to do. So.
After you guys started so strong on defense and then your offense started rolling, did that give you a lot of confidence, kind of going into that second quarter?
Oh, definitely. And, just to see everything click and all the hard work that we've done and everybody's put in, to see everything start to execute. And it just goes to the experience we have and the guys we have out there. And everybody kind of knows what they're doing. It's kind of like we don't even really need to say much just because we know the calls everybody's going to make and we just play off each other.
A lot of us didn't get to see you after that first scrimmage of fall camp. How do you feel when was the moment that your offense kind of clicked? I feel like you guys were very comfortable throwing the ball downfield. Was there a moment in fall camp that clicked, or did you feel like it finally clicked tonight?
I think Chance has always had the ability to throw the ball downfield, and I think that's what makes him a really good QB is the fact that he can stretch defenses. It's difficult now because you're going against our defense, and I honestly believe our defense is really good. So it's really that iron sharpens iron type of deal.
And you mentioned the importance of finishing. Do you feel like you guys just got tired at the end a little bit tonight, let up on certain parts of the system or the game plan? What did you feel like it was?
It was just dumb mistakes, and I would have to say it got a little quiet. I mean, there wasn't as much juice, and I think we let it get to us a little bit, and I think that's something we need to be able to learn how to handle and do.
This is sort of similar to the last question, but how concerned were you when, the offense started to sputter a little bit and they started to move the ball?
With the guys in the room, I honestly believe we would be able to find a way to pull it out, but for future reference, I don't think that's going to win ball games when we need it to, and that's something we definitely need to focus on, is bringing our energy. Even at home when it's a little quiet and we have a big lead like that, it's still a long game.
Jack, I'm curious, their quarterback's a 3-year starting senior. When you chase a guy like that early in the second quarter, what does that feel like for a defense?
Oh, it's great. I mean, when you get and plus with Reeser and all Beaver Nation going and rocking, I mean, that was awesome. That's what we've been waiting for all year.